My name's Steve and I love people who make things.
You might need to take off your trousers, and we see...
A number of times people have asked me to take off my trousers in a workshop hand. They sit at the heart of our communities, spreading wealth across the country.
I look forward to Mondays.
I love Mondays too.
And I'm going to die here. I'm never going to retire.
The isolation is great. No crowds apart from the tourists and sheep.
And the occasional podcaster like me. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
These are uncertain economic times. Keep our manufacturers alive and we'll thrive.
We all learn how to do everything here because there's so few of us left.
It is becoming a little harder to get young kids out of college that want to get their hands dirty and learn some of these very traditional art forms.
Join me as we compile a list of the greatest items made in the UK and hear stories from inside our factories.
My father has a phrase, he said, you should plan like you're going to live forever and live like you're going to die tomorrow, which I think is a very good way of looking at it.
We need you to live much longer than that, Martin. Welcome to the factory next door and welcome to an industrial unit on the outskirts of Bristol. Yes, it's a bit windy, yes, it's quite wet, but we don't mind because in one of these units they are making sunshine. Sunshine in a jar. We are off to visit Single Variety Co., makers of the world's best marmalade. Yes, the world's best marmalade. I cannot wait. I'm going to say hello at reception. Whilst I do that, have a listen to what's coming up in today's show.
Never was the plan to have a jam factory back when I was 20, but I always loved food. So a random lady who just came to the stall. She had no idea that she was my first customer.
You can make the same jam 100 times and it'll come out 100 different ways if you follow the same recipe to the T.
Okay, that just sounds maddening.
I'll tell you my dream because
Tell us your dream.
it's my dream. See what you think. The dream is then...
I do love when our customers include a jam or a marmalade pun.
But when an opportunity like that comes around, obviously you say yes and then you work out how to do it afterwards.
Are you living the dream?
Well, yes, without the money. So I'm Nicola Elliott and I'm the founder and CEO of Single Variety Co.
Okay, Nicola, where are we?
So we're in my jam factory, which is in Bristol.
How good does that sound?
It sounds so cool. Never thought I'd be saying that one day.
We are in my jam factory. Just to give us an idea of the layout of the factory, I mean, it's huge.
Yeah, so when I decided to set up the jam factory 5 years ago, everyone said to me who had food businesses, who I went to for advice, said get the biggest place you can afford. So that's why we've got such a big place and it's very high as well. And what we did is we've built the jam kitchen at the back of the unit. That's where we make all the jam. And then the front of the unit is our warehouse, which is where it's stored and packed and shipped out. And actually, the beginning of this year, we extended our jam kitchen. So if you'd have come a year ago, this wall wasn't here and it was a long way back. But now our jam kitchen in total is about half the size of the whole unit, and then our warehouse is half the size.
Great stuff. So we're surrounded by jars
Jam
and jars.
boxes.
Tell me about the advice, which was get the biggest unit you can afford. Tell me the rationale behind that.
Because you'll grow faster than you think, and also you'll just use the space. And oh my gosh, like it was the best advice because as you can see, it's pretty full in here. Last year we had to invest in getting the racking and we got a forklift so that we can actually use the height of the space. But yeah, the advice was, if you're going to spend a lot of money setting up a jam factory, you want to make sure that it's fit for purpose for a good while. I'm so glad I took that advice.
Did you get any bad advice, just out of interest?
No, I don't think so, actually.
It's lovely to hear.
I only spoke to people I really respected, who knew what they were doing. Never was the plan to have a jam factory back in the back when I was 20, but I always loved food. So when I was thinking about what to do at university, I was going to study chemistry. And then I went to look around Leeds University, fell in love with university, and just stumbled across the food science building. Never heard of food science before, but thought, sounds perfect, food and science. So I studied food science, but had no idea what job it would lead to. And then when I finished, I got a job in a food factory as a product development technologist. So that was a factory that made sandwiches for Marks and Spencer's, and my job was to take the sandwich that our chef had developed and Marks and Spencer's wanted, and I would figure out how to make that on a production line. And then, had a career in food. I worked for Sainsbury's, I worked for Selfridges as a food buyer. Then I worked at Waitrose and worked at a small independent food brand. But it was when I was at Selfridges that I started thinking about the idea of having my own food business, because my job was literally to launch new food brands, and I would go out to food markets. I would find people that had literally quit their jobs, given up everything to start a food brand that they really believed in. And I thought, oh gosh, I want to do that. But I didn't know what the product was going to be. And it wasn't until myself and Ross went on holiday to Sri Lanka, and we just had the most incredible jams for breakfast. Every morning we had this passion fruit and papaya jam, and I fell in love with it. We bought jars for everyone we knew back home. And I was like, this is it. I think jam is the one. And I came home and I started making jam.
So you said you were working in the early jobs. You're helping others kind of launch their
I was
food
in a junior
businesses.
role.
You kind of came to the realization that actually you wanted to own your own food manufacturer. Why was that? What attracted
Do you know
you
what?
to it?
I was meeting these people who had given up, some people had given up some high-powered jobs because they had a passion for a brand. And I think their passion rubbed off on me. And I thought, I could do this myself. And I guess just wanted to have control of my own life and work. And there was definitely a part of it as well in the back of my mind, thinking one day when I have a family, I want to build a life where I've got a really good work-life balance, which is what we've got now.
I was about to say, have you got a good work-life
Well,
balance?
Ross and I joke that our life is very intertwined, family and jam. I have no set working hours, but I also have this amazing flexibility where, I can just go to a concert if there's a school concert, or like I have Thursdays off where I take the girls out and we do fun things. So I'm completely in control and I don't have to answer to anybody else.
Are you living the dream?
Well, yes, without the money. But hopefully that will come. This is a bit noisy, I'm afraid.
I love it. What's
We'll
that
move over
cooking
here.
in?
So that is our air compressor. And that's one of the things that I had no idea that I would need. So when I set up the factory, I was buying all the equipment. I was like, right, I need a jam kettle, I need a labeler, I need a filler. Bought all those things. And then they were like, you need an air compressor to work them. So then that was an extra thing that had to be bought that obviously wasn't budgeted for. But that runs the labeler and the filler that you'll see in the kitchen.
Excellent. Let's move away from the beautiful
So this is where the magic
noisy
happens.
machine. This is where the magic happens. This tiny little
This
room.
is our tiny.
Hello there, mate.
Kyle,
How you
this
doing?
is Steve.
Very nice to meet you, Kyle.
Very nice to meet you too, Steve.
Steve has come to do Factory Next Door podcast.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Kyle is our, what would we call you? Assistant manager, supervisor, who's been with us for, how long have you been here? 4 years?
5 years.
5 years, since pretty much we almost set this place up.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
What's the best part of it?
Oh, I really enjoy the cooking aspect of it. It's a lot of fun. I like the whole. I really enjoy processes and repetition and figuring out quirks. So, for me, that's ideal.
Figuring out quirks.
Yeah. So you can make the same jam 100 times, and it'll come out 100 different ways if you follow the same recipe to the T.
Okay, that just sounds maddening.
Yeah,
that sounds utterly maddening,
It can
Kyle.
be, but after doing it for a few years, it's really enjoyable to being able to go, oh, that needs that, this needs this. It's quite satisfying. I quite enjoy doing that. Yeah,
You're a puzzle solver,
yeah,
aren't
I
you?
enjoy that very much.
What's going on in there?
So they're just the last little bit of lemon prep currently
Perfect,
that's going
we'll
on,
catch that.
and the passion fruit. There's one more batch on at the moment,
Brilliant.
so that's got another 20 minutes before that one comes off.
Perfect.
So-
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've walked into a little room
Yes.
full of.
You asked why it was so little.
Yeah.
So this is our changing room, and the reason it's the size it is because we wanted to keep as much space as we could for production. So this is where we come in. It's where we put our factory clothes on, put our hairnets on, put our safety shoes on, so that it's totally clean when we're making jam.
Great.
So,
Right, let's get suited and
So
booted.
you've got our hairnets, please.
Yep.
The beard.
I've got a beard. I'm so
So
sorry. I
you
should have
can-
shaven that off before I
No,
turned up.
it's okay. We're prepared for you.
Okay, hands washed.
Are you ready?
I'm suited and booted.
Let's go. Come in. So this is
Woohoo!
where the magic happens. So in our jam kitchen, we've got 2 rooms. We've got our jam making room, which is over there, and then this is our filling room. So this piece of equipment here is currently in the stage of being set up. This will be an automated filling and lidding line, but we've not yet got it working. So at the moment, we still fill and lid by hand. I signed up to a local farmers market, and I still remember the night before that market, Ross had a Mini back then, and about a couple of weeks beforehand we went to the fruit market, which was only open I think between like 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. So we went at 5 a.m, which seems ridiculous, picked out the fruit, and even like the early days I wanted to be making more interesting flavours, things like the jalapeno jam, the passion fruit preserve, and yeah, came home, did so much recipe testing, made 100 jars, was still labelling them the night before, went to the market thinking, what am I doing? Like, is anyone going to buy this? And then, yeah, we sold them all. My friends came to help me at the market. I remember it was such a good day. And yeah, to be honest, as soon as I sold that first jar, I was like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. And then kind of fate took over because I still had a job then. And I actually wanted to go and hand my notice in the next day. And Ross was like, no, don't be stupid. Like, let's think about this. Because we'd also just bought our first flat. And then I was made redundant, I think 2 weeks later. So it was perfect. And so I signed up for more farmers markets. And yeah, it's been a very gradual and sensible, should we say, growth. So the first 3 months I made at home. And then I rented a space in a kitchen, in a shared kitchen. Firstly rented it by the hour, then by the day. And then I got my own section of the kitchen.
Now we've got a few. You've put a few on the table here.
Yes,
for
I thought
us
we
to
could do
try.
some tastings.
And whilst we chat, maybe we can just have a couple of tastings, because after looking around the factory, obviously I'm
Well, I thought the first
utterly
one
salivating.
is the passion fruit.
Is there a particular way to test jam, or do you just get it down you?
I mean, we do have proper taste panel sessions where we have a sheet and we're rating everything out of 5 for like taste, aroma, texture. But here, you're just going to enjoy like breakfast, right?
Great.
I've got Morello cherry, which is our current seasonal flavour. So this is full. You'll see all the cherries here.
You sold your first jar and
Yes.
was like, that's it.
Yeah, that was it.
This
Yes.
is the life for me. Why selling your first jar at a food market?
Because it was somebody I didn't know. So a random lady who just came to the stall. She had no idea that she was my first customer. She just came to the stall, she tried the jam, she loved it, and she bought it. And that was just incredible for somebody that I didn't know to think our jams tasted nice and wanted to buy it. And so I wanted to carry on doing that. We built this room at the beginning of the year and we bought a second kettle. So we're now able to make more than double what we used to make a year ago. And I am so glad we did, because we wouldn't be able to make the jam that we're now selling.
Now then, you've mentioned the kettle. I'm guessing the kettle is not what I'm imagining is a kettle.
No, it's called a jam kettle, but it's really just a big jam pan. Do you want to go see it?
I'd love to go see the jam pan. Hello. Yeah, very good, thank you.
So let me introduce you to Chris, is our factory manager.
Hello, Chris.
And Callum is one of our jam chefs.
Hello, Callum.
And they are just prepping some Amalfi lemons, which we use to make our award-winning Amalfi lemon marmalade, which won best marmalade in the world this year.
The smell is gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh my God, when I started the business and I was making jam at home, my husband, well, he was my boyfriend then, but he used to come home and he would say, like, in the hallway to the flat, he would know exactly what I'm making because he would just smell the jam, like strawberry jam. It's incredible. So yeah, every day it smells different. You've got a mixture of, shall I see whether you can guess actually?
Oh,
There's some, so we're prepping lemons and there's another jam in the kettle.
Okay,
Can you tell?
now
that
I've got to say my sense of smell has always been terrible, but I can really smell the lemons, and the other one is very sweet.
Yes, I think as soon as I say, you'll be like, of course.
Mango.
Close, very close. Similar kind of fruit, but
You're just being kind. I got it wrong.
Yeah. Passion fruit.
Passion fruit. Okay.
So what we do here is we don't mix any flavours. So single variety co is about making one variety of fruit per jar. So we would never make, say, a mango and passion fruit jam. We will make the best passion fruit jam that you can find, the best Amalfi lemon marmalade that you can find. It's really quite a simple room here. This is where we make the jam. So any fruits that need prepping, like the Amalfi lemons, we'll pull the tables out. Sometimes we'll get the whole team in. So if we're making something that's very labour intensive to make, like our rhubarb preserve or our Alfonso mango preserve, we'll have the whole team, like a production line, chopping, to get everyone in at once, prepping everything while we can. And then it goes into the jam pan and it gets cooked into jam. And then it goes into next door to be filled into the jars.
Why are some jams, like you mentioned rhubarb, for example, why are they much more intensive than, for example, labour intensive than, for example, the lemon one?
Well, no, the lemon marmalade would be very labour intensive. They're just at the very end of the prepping, which is why there's just the two of them left. Earlier in the day, we had more people prepping. But something like a raspberry jam, for example, they don't need any prepping. The raspberries go straight into the pan. Because,
I've always loved raspberries.
Yeah, nice and easy. So, yeah, the more labour-intensive ones are where we need to hand prep the fruits before it goes into the jam pan.
Hi, I want to jump in here and give a shout out to our show's partner, a company that has a long history of helping manufacturers optimise their operations. AVEVA is a leader in industrial intelligence and was founded almost 50 years ago in Cambridge. Its software connects and empowers people to improve plant productivity, sustainability and business agility. And if you're interested in manufacturing, which I'm guessing you are if you're hanging out with me, AVEVA's got a newsletter. Please do sign up to it. Go to www.aveva.com/factory. I'll put the website in the show notes. My thanks to AVEVA for supporting our manufacturers and our show.
So every jam has a recipe. I'll show you the recipe sheets. It's top secret.
Oh, right, okay. No photos here, no photos here.
So we'll have a basic recipe that we start with, and then it's purely down to experience. So we do a lot of kind of dipping the spoon in, which you'll see when this one starts to be ready. We'll dip the spoon in, we'll hold it up, we'll have a look at the drip. It's called a drip test. So there's different ways you can tell a jam set. There's putting a plate in a freezer, putting the jam on, and then seeing how it sets. But I've always really liked the drip test.
It's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating because looking at the, for example, looking at the ingredients sheet list, I don't know. I guess I'm preconditioned when I think of an ingredients list. I'm preconditioned to think, well, a cookbook, which kind of lists, 10 things, and you think, well, there you go. But actually, I can't give away any clues, but I tell you, it is way more specific than that, and it's got temperatures and weights and all different kind of boxes to be filled in.
There's also two other things that we check: the temperature and the sugar contents. So every recipe has got a target temperature that we have to get the jam to, and then also a target sugar level. So the passion fruit, we're looking for a target of 50%. So when we think it's ready, we use this machine, which is called a refractometer, which I think this one might almost be ready, so you might get to see it. That will tell us if it's got 50. We can go 2 grams either side. If it is, that's a sign that actually this jam is probably ready. If it's not, something's gone wrong. Maybe we've put the wrong amount of sugar in. Maybe, we've cooked it for too long. So yeah, we've got quite a few tests. So we've got like the drip test, which is the visual actually knowledge test. We've got the temperature and the sugar test. Yeah. This is our passion
Look at that. So we've lifted the lid on the top of this kettle, jam kettle, which is a giant pan. And it is, the smell.
Yeah, it's incredible. So the thing with our jam kettles, they're very expensive pieces of kit, but it was really important to me to get the right bit of kit to make our jam perfectly. So they've got an automatic stirrer, which means we don't have any risk of any burnt bits, and they're gradually, gently heated by steam.
How much does a piece of kit like that cost?
£30,000.
We'll chat about this when we sit down, but it seems like it's an almost endless upward line you've been on.
It feels like that. Yeah, I set up this factory 5 years ago next Easter. The business will be 10 years old in Easter, and every year we've grown, and the last few years we've grown like between 50 to 70% year on year, and yeah, we should hopefully continue to do that for the next few years.
Has it just been easy?
No. We had done the trade shows and started to get interested, and it was one particular trade show, I think the second one, or maybe even the first one that I did, that had a German gentleman come to the stand, and he came up and had this wall of jam behind me, which was crazy because it was so heavy to take. And he pointed to the marmalade and he said, "I love it. I've got a subscription business. Can you make me 8,000 jars?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course I can." And at that point, we were literally making 25 jars at a time in the jam pan. But when an opportunity like that comes around, obviously you say yes, and then you work out how to do it afterwards. So it took, I think, 8 weeks. I was working ridiculously long hours. It ended up being 8,700 jars, I think, in the end. And we made them all by hand, 25 jars at a time, hand labelling, hand making, roped in lots of help, and it almost killed me. Didn't make any money because obviously I'd done all the numbers completely wrong and spent far more than we actually took.
I'm going to test one of these.
Yeah, what are we going to have?
I'm going to test the passion fruit. Oh wow! It's I mean, it's as you would expect. It's super Moorish because it's like eating the fruit.
Exactly.
Now then, if you don't mind me asking, cash. I'm fascinated because the expansion, the growth that you were talking about. The truth is, I imagine at a number of points during that, cash will have been required.
Yes, cash flow is the hardest thing to manage in, I think, any business. There's been many, many moments of worry, always around cash, always around cash. Have we got enough money to pay the bills? Are we going to be able to keep going? That's happened lots and lots. But there's always been, I've never doubted. There's also a bit of a funny story about our wedding. So we were due to get married, myself and Ross, and obviously COVID came and our wedding got cancelled. And luckily, thank God, we had wedding insurance. So our wedding insurance came back to us and that money went towards the factory. We ended up just getting married in the registry office.
You spent your wedding
money
on a factory. We spent
our wedding money on a jam factory. But we've done it all without any outside investment. We've never wanted to give away any of the business to anybody. So we've grown it through loans, overdrafts, asset finance to get pieces of kit. Kind of partly because we wanted that work-life balance. And we were always quite concerned that if we had outside investment, there's going to be someone else wanting the business to maybe grow faster than maybe we can grow it with our family circumstances.
Hi, my name's Leo and my dad is Steve, host of this show. I want to say thanks to everyone who follows The Factory Next Door. You are all lovely people. My dad says everyone who listens is a friend. A big shout out to those of you who have starred, rated or reviewed the show. I hope you get joy from this podcast. I get it from video games, but each their own. I'll let you get back to the show now. Bye!
Our warehouse. So this is where the jams will get labelled. So at the moment we're labelling... this is our Morello Cherry Preserve. This is actually our last batch of Morello Cherry Preserve for the year. This was made yesterday. It will all be sold out by Christmas.
I have a great machine here.
Yeah, so this is where the labels are put on. So the jars go on a conveyor belt through the labelling machine. The label gets applied.
I love it. There's a kind of almost a beat to it, a rhythm to it. Okay.
Let me take you around and show you where everything gets packed up to go out. So one of the things that I didn't consider when setting up a food factory is how much cardboard and how many boxes you use. Sometimes we joke that this is a cardboard factory.
We're just surrounded by cardboard now, boxes and boxes.
This is where all of our orders get packed to go out. So we've got a strong online business, but we also sell to shops and to food distributors, and we do some exporting. We've got an order going out to Saudi Arabia next week, and we've just started exporting to Canada as well.
Tell me about exporting. How did that come about?
Came to us again.
Oh my! There's a real theme here, Nicola.
So actually, it's quite interesting. So with one of our US distributors, I first met him in year 2, I think it was, of the business at my very first trade show that I did. So I have done a bit of sales. We've done some trade shows, and I was so young into the business. And this guy came over from America. He was like, "I love the jam. you know, I think it could work for us. And I was like, oh my God, so I'm going to sell jam to America. And then literally didn't hear from him for 5 years. And then last year, he got in touch with me and he said, oh, Nicola, I've been following your journey, still love what you're doing. I think the time is right now to start buying from you. So that is how long that sale took to get. But now he orders a pallet every few months and he sells jam all over the US for us. We handwrite all our gift notes, which...
gift note there,
yeah.
saying to Mummy. It's a very, very sweet little gift note.
So, do you know what? It's one of the things that I feel really strongly about. It obviously takes a lot of work and we don't charge any extra for this. So most businesses, you know, you go on Amazon, right? And you buy something or you send a present, and I've had gifts with the post from Amazon. It's so lifeless. Like, you open it up and then there's a little printout that you might lose that says who it's from. So I just really want to bring that handmade aspect into it, and it's one of the reasons we do all this in-house, so that we can handwrite a gift note. So Laura, bless her, upstairs.
I was about to say, who is writing all of the gift notes?
Very busy at this time of year because we are getting a lot of gift notes, but she handwrites every single one. When we interviewed her, actually, one of the things we asked her to do was handwrite a gift note.
Write a gift note.
Just check her handwriting was fine. It's beautiful, and she loves it because, you know, she gets to see all these lovely messages. And
can we have a word with Laura?
Yeah, we can go meet her.
I want a word with the gift writer. Oh my word, there's a lot of steps.
Yeah, there is.
I tell you what, Nicola, you're really quick up there. Oh. This place just gets bigger and bigger. Oh my word. Hello, Laura. So your job is writing gift notes?
Yes, it is indeed. Lots of gift notes.
I love that. I love that idea.
I do love when our customers include a jam or a marmalade pun. That is really nice because you just think, oh, it's quite nice, isn't it? They've got involved with the brand. It's lovely. So, yeah.
Do you find yourself dropping marmalade and jam puns into your conversation on an evening?
Do you know what? Not so much on an evening. I would say I do it a lot in the emails to customers. Yeah, have an amazing day is a good one. We've had a jam-packed day at the factory. Like, there's quite a lot of jam puns that do fly out.
Well, it was very nice to meet you. I wish I could come up with a pun now to end on, but I can't.
Before you leave, you're going to have to think of one.
Having just spent a few hours with you, I can already tell that you're going to have an answer to this question. Tell me what you're planning for the next year or the year after, if you're allowed to.
So when I took on this building, originally took it on a 5-year lease. We've now extended that by another 5 years. So we will be here for at least another 5 years. Probably at that point, we will have outgrown here. And the dream, I'll tell you my dream because...
Tell us your dream.
It's my dream. See what you think. The dream is then to move to a kind of like a jam factory destination. So we would still obviously be making all the jam in-house, but visitors would be able to come, see us making the jam. A bit like Cadbury World, I guess, but obviously Jam World. We'd have a shop. Customers ask us all the time if they can come and buy from the factory, but you've seen how we work here. It would be very difficult to set a shop up on site here. We'd have a cafe where the jams are being used on site, so you can go and eat the jams. That's the dream, but that's going to be very expensive. So need to see how the next few years go.
I am very confident that dream is going to be a reality, Nicola. I'm really
jam
very
making
confident.
classes as well. You could come and learn how to make jam.
It's going to be a bit like a distillery, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You have a little look around.
You get the
do little
tour.
tastings.
You get the history. Yeah, that's what I want. But like I say, I don't think I realised when I started the business how long things take. Like back in the early days, I was like, 3 years in, I'll have done jam and I'll start doing other products instead. Obviously, we're still focusing just on jam and I don't honestly see us ever doing any other products now. But yeah, business is slow. It takes time. But I think that's also, for us, the best way to grow a really strong, sustainable business that then will enable us to do that. Oh, I'm so impatient. But no, having children's what made me learn to slow down.
When you open the jam factory, Jam World. Sorry.
Jam World.
When you open Jam World,
you can come.
I am going to be right there. First of the queue.
Love it.
To do the tastings and have a look around and buy the T-shirt.
Oh,
Made in
yeah,
Britain
merch.
T-shirt.
We'll do merch, yeah.
Many congratulations on what you've achieved here.
Thank you so much.
You are very, very proud of yourself. You should be.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for taking us.
I've loved showing you around. It's been wonderful.
Okay, into our shed of greatness goes the Premium Preserve by Single Variety Co. In particular, their Amalfi Lemon Marmalade. Wow, yes, I did try some. Exquisite. Thanks to Nicola and her team for welcoming us into their Bristol factory. They know how to spread the love, and I certainly found it a struggle to jam in all their advice and anecdotes into a half-an-hour show. Thanks too for your messages. You're all very special. Okay, let's meet again in 2 weeks for more adventures, but perhaps less puns. For now, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're happy. Until next time, bye. A final shout out to our show's partner, AVEVA, a company that has a long history of helping manufacturers optimize their operations. It's a leader in industrial intelligence and was founded almost 50 years ago in Cambridge. Its software connects and empowers people to improve plant productivity, sustainability and business agility. If you're interested in manufacturing, which I'm guessing you are if you're hanging out with me, AVEVA's got a newsletter. Please do sign up to it. Go to www.aveva.com/factory. Just a reminder, I'll put the website in the show notes. My thanks to AVEVA for supporting our manufacturers and for supporting our show.